How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews. I'm back with a little bit of a torch and crown up in this piece. It's been a little bit since I've done something from these guys. This be their Restless Dark Lager. This comes courtesy of my boy Mike from Jersey. He sent me off in a ridiculous sized box. It was actually a box he picked out of beers that he got from Tavor. Which is kind of unique. I've never received a box like that before. And I'm kind of pumped because there's a big eclectic mix of different beers in here. But this is one of the beers, one of the breweries I've had before that was in that box. I actually interviewed the guys from Torch and Crown. They were making beer, but the tap room wasn't open. Actually, I don't even know if it's still open at this point because of COVID in New York. But I dug their beers from the get. But it's been a while, like I said, since I've had something. Like I said, this is a dark lager. It's coming in at 5.5% alcohol by volume. Let's do this. So, yeah. Dark lager. Could go a couple of different ways. Check dark lager. I could pour this like the bestest person. Is it on cask or nitro? Because that, I did not pour that too crazily, and that thing is just popping out of there. It says here, we spent years on every last detail, put days into things no sane person would give a second thought, built it with intensity. We're standing in the tunnel in a pre-game routine that's suddenly lasted the full season. You've gotten a taste, a not so grand opening, a minimal capacity for barely a month, but even that was invigorating. And we're all getting restless. It's going to be wild on either side. 5.5% out lager, so yeah. That was a crazy pour. I didn't think I poured it like a dum-dum, but it looks like I poured it like a dum-dum. Likewise, it's cool. You know, letters on black background. What do you want? That awesome pour by me aside, I mean, it looks the part of a dark lager. It shouldn't be 4 fingers of head, but what head is there looks pretty damn pretty. Super fluffy, creamy, almost cool whippy in texture. And as far as the actual body of the beer is concerned, rich dark brown. It's not like a black, like what you'd expect from like a Schwarz beer or even a Czech dark lager. I understand, yes, it's dark, but it comes off a little bit more bocky than just that rich kind of dark malt that you typically get from a Schwarz beer or something like that. Maybe I'm being a little bit piggy. Meh. So yeah, we'll try to get a nose on this. I'm probably not going to get much of anything. I mean, I'm getting actually a soft little confectionery component. I think that's just the head. That soft, creamy fluffiness of the head is giving me this little bit of soft kind of sweetness to it. There is a little bit of roasted malts in there, so it might lean something a bit better. It might be getting towards Schwarzbier kind of territory on this. But it's malt driven, not all that much of a lager nose. With that head, probably be pretty hard to get one. One of the cool things about that head, though, if I did the old slow pour pills thing on this, I could probably get about that far out of the glass. That's how creamy and fluffy the head is. We're just going to dive in. Cheers. I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, it's classic, somewhere between a Schwarz beer and just a Czech dark lager. Just a nice, slightly meaningful bittering, purposeful malt forward, leaning towards Schwarz beer more than anything else kind of dark lager. Super crisp, as you'd expect from a lager. And that bittering grows with each sip, so I'm digging it and getting slowly more and more into that kind of Schwarz beer kind of vibe. This is going to be gone in about 3 seconds. So that shows you the kind of drinkability of the beer. I think it's really, really well made. You know, it gives me enough to kind of electrify my senses, you know, when it comes to both the bittering and the malt side of things. It's clean enough from the lager end of things to be super chuggable. So it's giving me everything I want. I can't complain about anything about this beer. There's nothing negative to it. It's really well made, really drinkable. And honestly, I had a bunch of the beers at the get, and while there was some hazies involved, there were a couple little, Pilsner here, a little bit of lager here, and those are the ones that really kind of piqued my interest when it came to the brewery, and this is kind of making me remember that. We don't get them as far as distribution here in New Jersey, so that's the reason why I haven't seen them. COVID has kept me out of New York, as it kept most sane people. So I haven't been able to get these guys for a little bit, and not that I forgot how much I dug the brewery, but you just distance, you not forget, but you just, doesn't recall as much, Instantly drinking this beer, I go, oh, I remember why I like these guys, because it's a classically well-made, epically delicious version of a dark lager, and a very, very tasty Very pretty package, too. And the only thing I would complain about this beer is if, I'm assuming just like every other craft brewery, dark lager, 16-ounce can. This is probably, they're in Manhattan proper, mind you. So it's not like they're just like calling themselves a New York brewery and they're not in New York City. They probably have to charge $18 a 4-pack minimum on something like this. Maybe 16 if they're feeling a little bit generous. And even at that price point, it'd be a little bit high. But I would never push this beer away. I walk into this brewery, COVID's over, everything's cool. I walk in, I see a board, and this is on there. This might be the first beer I chug when I walk in there. Just really tastily, well made, awesomely done. Is it one of the better dark lagers I've had as of late? Yes. Is it Mount Rushmore status? I'm going to say no. And that is nothing against this beer. I've just had so many great, amazing dark lagers over the past, not even like year, over the past like 3 months. That's been crazy, the amount of breweries that have been pumping these out, new school breweries. And there's just been some that just eke this one out. So it's not so much, it doesn't deserve it. I've just had a couple more that I dug. Not all beers can be Mount Rushmore status. Value and availability, like I said, I have no idea. This did come from DeWar. Like I said, Mike put together a box and sent it off to me. What did you pay for this, Mike? From them. And conversely, if any of you guys have had this out and about in the wild, what did you guys pay for this? Or what did you think about it? I always forget to ask people that. If you've had this beer, let's talk. Chat down there. Let me know what you think. And leave you with, if you like, we like this beer. If you like chugging dark lagers, man, done and done. Good beer by good people trying to do good things. I mean, it's delicious. What more do you want? So there you go. Massive beer review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif. If you want to hear me doing a podcast, maybe with the guys from Torch Crown, you can go do that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of dark lager right now. Look at that fucking lazy. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.